What is up, lovely people? We've got a Tennessee Titans mailbag headed your way, but first, we are so close to 6,500 subscribers. We're trying to hit it before the draft. I think that is not a problem. We only need 26 more. Let's do it before the weekend ends, because why not? What's up? Welcome into Titans today. Like I said, we've got a loaded mailbag. This is like my favorite time of the week. I love chopping it up with y'all. Thanks to everybody who left questions on our community post on the channel. As always, I'm gonna run it up. We're gonna run it back, and I'm gonna answer y'all's questions. Starting off with Travis Goldsworthy. Thank you for asking your question, Travis. It was a good one. It seems like the language Carthon and Vrabes are using in regards to Byard, Tannehill, and Henry indicate they're more open to the idea of shipping off the latter two rather than Byard. If that's the case, who would be some good teams to target in trade talks, and how much compensation should we realistically be looking at for them? Well, let me stop you before we start to snowball into the trade talks of Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. Rand Carthon said that nothing has changed regarding Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill's statuses on the team. That being said, this is an ever-changing business. So just because Rand Carthon came out and said, look, we're not shopping them, doesn't mean they won't shop them. I will say Henry has been linked to the Buffalo Bills for a minute now. He was working out with Von Miller, so of course all the sleuths on social media decided that he was being shopped by the Bills. I don't know if it's true or not, but you know how social media works. And he's also been linked to the Chicago Bears, which doesn't quite make all that much sense to me, but I don't think he will be traded. I think there's a lot of, this is a good running back class in the draft. I don't think people are going to want to give up, or teams are going to want to give up heavy draft stock for a running back who is pushing 30. We love the King. He's shown that he can continue to produce, but other teams are a little iffy on grabbing a guy who you're going to have to pay well, and when he's up there in age. As far as Ryan Tannehill goes, I don't think teams want to trade for him. If anything, if the Titans are looking to move on from Tannehill, he'll be cut. I don't think he'll be traded. So we're not even gonna start that conversation on the trades about Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, because I don't think either one of those is gonna happen. Mayhem 79. If Byard is going somewhere, who will replace him? Well, I don't know that Kevin Byard is going anywhere. To give everybody context on what's going on, Titans went to kind of shortchange him a little bit. They asked him to take a pay cut. Byard said, no, I'm doing my job. I do it well. I deserve to be paid. Rightfully so. But that is causing a little bit of hoopla on whether or not Kevin Byard will be a Titan moving forward. PFF came out and said this: Byard may be a casualty of a rebuild that the Tennessee Titans seem very close to pulling the trigger on. He has been one of the best safeties in the league since he came into the NFL and is particularly adept in coverage. With a significant contract, he may not have a red-hot market, but if a deal can be done to minimize his cap hit to a new team, Byard could transform a secondary in an instant. He's still on the right side of 30 years old, though this will be the last offseason where that is true, and he's not wrong there. Or PFF isn't wrong there. He's getting up there, but he is somebody who has been so vital for this defense. He is the heart of this defense. He's a leader. He has held it together by a string. We saw the Pasty really struggle in 2022, but I still think this is a guy you can't really let go of, if that makes sense. How angry will you be if the Titans do decide to cut or trade Kevin Byard? Scale it 1 to 10 down in the comment section. Be real honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be very happy. They need to come to terms soon, because I don't know that you find anybody that can quite replace Kevin Byard in the way that he has, or in the role that he's had for Tennessee. Larry Napier, are the Titans searching for more help in the secondary? Well, if they let go of Byard, they absolutely will be. But they did make a free agency signing. He was actually the last signing they made, the most recent one, who is going to help in the pass D. Sean Murphy-Bunting was signed, I believe, last week, and he came over from the Bucs, did some good things over there. He's played 53 games for Tampa Bay since 2019 with 36 starts. He did miss 8 games in 2021 for an elbow injury and missed 5 in 2022 for a quad injury. Soft tissue injury is a little bit of a red flag for Mike Vrabel. We know that. He is not crazy about those. But he's able to play both slot and outside, which should help this struggling pass D. His last 4 years, the production's kind of been there. In coverage, he allowed a completion percentage of 51.2% in 2022, which is the best mark of his career. For his playoff career, this is a playoff player. Hopefully the Titans can get back to the playoffs with him so he can show that. He's had 29 tackles, 1 for a loss, 5 passes defensed, 3 interceptions, and a fumble recovered in 6 playoff games. He got most of his playing time in 2020. Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean kind of took the majority of time in Tampa Bay. But back in 2020, Murphy-Bunting showed exactly what he can do on a football field with 3 picks in 4 games, which was one of the best performances by an NFL cornerback in postseason history. So this guy is a huge help to a pass defense. I won't say that I think they're done looking to help the secondary. I think when you have the worst pass defense in the league, you've got to not just grab one guy and think it's all better. So I think, yes, they will still be looking for somebody possibly in the draft. But this was a good signing, and this was the right step. The other next step they need to make is to figure out the Kevin Byard situation. Sky Hicks. Hey, Abby, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, Sky. It's actually Friday now, but I'll take it. What do you think? Are we planning a surprise move in the draft? It's one thing to not have heard much about Byard, Henry, and Tannehill, but Big Jeff is going to need to get paid, and it seems like they may be waiting till the dust settles to see who will be on the chopping block. I think you're correct. I think there's a lot of guys on this team that deserve to be paid, including Jefrey Simmons. He is elite. That is, again, not somebody you really want to lose. Figure it out, but I think it is kind of they're waiting to see if the dust or what happens when the dust settles. And I do think that there could be a possibility for a big move in the draft that they're kind of waiting for that to happen to move forward with current players. I think there's kind of a smoke right now, and they're trying to figure it out. Albert Breer actually put this out there talking about big moves in the draft. There's a sneaky team involved in the draft quarterback derby, and that team is the Titans. GM Ryan Carthon was on hand for the 3 big quarterbacks pro days last week in Columbus, Tuscaloosa, and Lexington. That means Bryce Young, Will Levis, CJ Stroud. We've heard the Anthony Richardson rumors. And look, Ryan Carthon came out and said, look, you got to do your due diligence. We're at these pro days. They have other players that we're interested in, that we're looking at, but it's no question the Titans are going to need a quarterback either after Tannehill rides out the rest of his contract for this year or when they get rid of Tannehill after June 1st. Who knows what's going to happen? I wouldn't put it past Ryan Carthon to make a sneaky big surprise move like that because he did it. He was part of the front office that did it with Trey Lance when they traded up to 3 to grab Trey Lance. So, no, I think you're right, Sky. I think it's going to come down to if this big move happens, then a lot of other moves are going to start to come into play with the current guys on the roster. Go Titans 22. Draft O-line now. Yes. Yes, exactly. They did start to kind of patch up that O-line with Andre Dillard, Daniel Brunskill. They tenured Aaron Brewer. You've got things to work on. Dylan Radins is coming off an ACL injury. There's still a lot of questions. Look, I like Andre Dillard and Daniel Brunskill. I think both of them are coming here with something to prove. They never really got the full-on opportunity to be a full-time starter and kind of make their mark. I think Ryan Carthon knows that. He believes in those guys. He's bringing them in. So those are good additions. It is not rounded out. You still need depth, and you really need a left guard. I've talked about it before. Peter Skoronski is a favorite. Paris Johnson is a favorite. Those are guys you go out and get in that first round because we all know you don't have an O-line that's strong and can do their jobs. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. It doesn't matter who's a receiver. You're not going to get anything done if you don't have that front line bolstered. So, yes, draft an offensive lineman, particularly a left guard, maybe a center. Now, I agree with you. Go Titans 2022. 2022. 22. Too many. Who should the Titans draft in the first round? Do you agree with me? Do you think it should be an offensive lineman, Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson? Maybe you think it should be a receiver like Jackson Smith and Jigba or Jalen Hyatt? Or maybe a tight end, an edge, whoever. Who should they draft in the first round? Head down to the comment section and let me know. Nathaniel Allison with the next question. Genuine question. Why is everyone out on Lamar Jackson? 26 years old. 12,000 plus passing with no real weapons, 4,500 rushing yards, etc. He still has 8+ years left, in my opinion, and has proven to be a fear factor for every team to prepare for weekly. Get a proven vet at 26 years old. Yes, you bring up so many great points that I agree with. But same way you look at the pros, you can't just ignore the cons. There's a reason that so many teams have come out and said, look, we're not interested. Like, we got our guy. Or, he doesn't fit. There's a reason that people aren't grabbing Lamar Jackson. This is your 2019 NFL MVP. We've seen what he can do. You literally just listed out all kinds of benefits and skills and assets of Lamar Jackson. You just laid it out for everyone. But there's some reason that these team owners and the coaches and the GMs aren't grabbing him. I think it has a lot to do with money. I know Deshaun Watson's contract really screwed up the quarterback market. You're watching guys get paid way more than they should be. And Lamar Jackson wants to be paid heavy. He's a good quarterback. He deserves to be paid heavy. But teams aren't doing it. And to be completely honest with you, all of the teams that have come out in the media have either voiced, we don't know if he could stay healthy. He's missed 5 to 6 games past 2 seasons. We can't afford that, okay? We don't have the money to pay him. We got our guy. There's all kinds of excuses, but the only team that came out and said, we love him, we want him, the Ravens. However, Lamar just said, peace out. It was nice knowing y'all, Baltimore. Love y'all, but I'm out. Don't know what happens there. I think they're still kind of a lot of underground talk going on. I'm not really sure. It's been suspiciously quiet. But there are concerns that you have to take into account when you're thinking about getting rid of one franchise quarterback to take on another. You've got to take into account the money and the injuries. Scott Arnold. Hi, Abby. I think the worst place you can be is the middle. I'd rather have a chance at a Super Bowl or have a chance at a top 3 pick. Where do you think we are heading? Well, Scott, I hate to burst your bubble here, but I think we're headed for the middle. They haven't made any big splashes that would make me think that the Titans are a contender for the Super Bowl. The AFC South is up in the air. There's all kinds of stuff happening with the draft is going to settle a lot of questions, I think, because of the quarterbacks that are ultimately going to land in the AFC South. The Texans have made a lot of moves in free agency that should benefit them in this season. So Titans have been quiet. They've been kind of still, kind of shy a little bit. I can't say that they're going to be a contender for the Super Bowl, much less the AFC South at this rate. That being said, I don't think they're the worst team or they're bottom 5. I don't. So you're really headed straight for the middle. And look, Rand Carthon came out and said, we're not tanking. That's not in my character. That's not in Mike Vrabel's character. We're not tanking. What are you doing? 'Cause we're headed for pretty mid right now. Let's figure it out. Let's make a big move. Let's do something to get this franchise back on track, back to winning, back to the postseason. That is the key here. What will the Titans' record be in 2023? Be honest. If you think it's going to be bad, lay it out there. Show me the numbers. If you have this hope that they're going to do great things, Let me know. As always, we appreciate y'all for watching. Hit me up on Insta, Twitter. Love to hear from y'all. Even if it's not a mailbag question, let's chop it up. I will see y'all soon.